Let's see. Hello. Welcome to the AC Brown Show. It's day 30. Oh man, I did it. 30 days. Well, welcome to the AC Brown Show. I'm so happy to be here. I'm also so happy that this is the last day of the live or streaming, whatever the young kids call it. Um, but I did it. 30 days. Oh, wow. Here I am. So much to talk about. But what we're going to talk about today is tomorrow, which we have a lovely, lovely transit that is going to be interesting. And the transit that we're going to talk about is Mars square Jupiter. And it happened in February of 2025, and now it's happening again tomorrow. So it first happened, I'm sorry, not Mars, Mercury square Jupiter, excuse me. See? Mercury square Jupiter. Thank you. What's this is, let me turn on my lamp. That is from I have like 3 of their lamps. Hold on. I'm about to tell you where it's from. Because I never can remember the company. Oh man, what's the name of the company? Bright. Is that the name of the company? I think it's Bright. Is it? Yeah, no. Yeah, Bright Tech. Bright Tech, sorry. Bright Tech. That's the name of the lamp company. I have 3 of their lamps. I have this one and no, I have 4 lamps of theirs. It's called Bright Tech. That's the name of the company. And it's a very, very bright light and it fills up actually the whole room. But yes, it's called Bright Tech. I love them. They have really, really great. And this is called the Sky Flux LED lamp. They have really beautiful, beautiful, beautiful lamps. Beautiful stuff. But I have 3 of their lamps. It's called Bright Tech. It's contemporary lighting. Yes, so today's my last day. I'm gonna put it in the chat. Let me see if I can tag them. Well, I don't know if it'll I'll put it in the chat. Bright Tech. That's the name. They might not be on Instagram. I mean on YouTube. But I know they are on. Yeah, it's called Bright Tech. You might be able to find them. But anyway, it's called Bright Tech. They have really great lamps, really great styles of lamps, all of that. Anywho, so Mercury squares Jupiter tomorrow. So in February of 2025, Mercury was in Pisces and Jupiter was in Gemini. And so that kind of caused overthinking, lots of vivid dreams, miscommunication. So if you think back to February 20th, around that time, that was the last time that, of course, Mercury squared Jupiter again, right? So now it's squaring Jupiter. And so the last time that it squared Jupiter, Mercury squared Jupiter in 2 different signs. Like I said, it overactivity in the mind, confusion, misunderstandings within your social circles, all of that. But now Mercury in Libra is squaring Jupiter. It is squaring Jupiter in Cancer right now. Yes, Mercury in Libra squaring Jupiter in Cancer. So, yeah, I think, let me just double check that. Yes, in Libra, Cancer. Yes, Mercury in Libra squaring Jupiter in Cancer. I don't know why uh yeah, I have that written down, but yeah. So it's square in Jupiter and Cancer. Anywho, so with it square in Jupiter and Cancer, I thought it would be a great, and that happens tomorrow. Mercury, Libra, squaring Jupiter in Cancer. That happens tomorrow. And so why I thought it was a good thing to talk about today on the last day, because this is going to be a transit that's going to give you the push to stick with things. Okay. So, as I hit my 30 days of sticking with things, of my streaming journey of sticking with things for 30 days, I thought it was really important to come talk about that today. And so, this transit is, of course, Mercury is the planet of communication, of thinking, of learning, of short term travel, of processing information, how we talk, how we figure things out. And then we have Jupiter, which in astrology, some people call Santa Claus because it's very expansive. It brings gifts, it brings blessings. It's about growth and abundance. And so Jupiter wants more from you and wants you to have more knowledge, more experiences, more of everything. So right now with Mercury being in Libra, which is the sign of relationships, of balance, of um, trying to have relationships and build relationships through communication, through talking, through everybody getting what they want. And then Jupiter in Cancer, which is a sign of home, emotions, and comfort. So with these two planets squaring each other, which means at a 90-degree angle, it's going to create a little bit of tension. So they are working a little bit against each other, um, but they can work together. And so, what this transit is going to do, it's going to make you want to do everything at once. So, you're going to feel the energy, especially since tomorrow is October 1st and it is like the final three. These are the last 3 months of the year. I know at the beginning I told you all, hey, you should treat, what was it, the eclipse on the 21st, treat the 22nd like January 1st. If you didn't get a start on that, tomorrow is a great day to treat everything like January 1st as well, because we have officially starting tomorrow 91 days left in the year, right? Well, no, 92 days, something like that. Something like that. We have like 92 days left in the year. And so, with that being said, this particular transit is going to give you the urge to do everything at once. So, you're going to have to start getting 1,000 ideas and you're going to want to start them all. You're going to see every opportunity possible and you're going to want to try and do it. And you may overestimate what you can accomplish in this time, and you may promise too much to people. Your mind is going to jump from thing to thing to thing, and it's going to be a little bit of a challenging time to focus. And not because your mind is going to be completely out of whack, it's just that it's going to want to do things. You're going to have an urge to really get out there and start creating or start planning and start doing stuff. So my advice is to pick one thing that you can stick to at least for the next 30 days, right? Ta-da! That's what I did. 30 days of sticking to something, right? Um, so this energy of kind of scrolling through options like you do on Netflix or on one of your streaming services or on your phone, and an hour passed and you don't pick a movie or you don't pick to do something. So it's the energy of having like 57 browsers, tabs open and doing multiple things and opening stuff and finishing stuff, not finishing anything, or starting things and not finishing anything. So Mercury square Jupiter can be a very distracting time. It has a little bit of um, optimism with chaos kind of mixed in it. So it's excited about doing stuff, but also feeling overwhelmed. So here's the thing, and this is what I have to say about this particular um, transit, since we already experienced it in February. So I want you to go back to February and think about February and how um, February 20th, like I said, how that was for you. What was that like? What did that mean? Was going through your mind? Of course, because February right then, we had just experienced January, the new year, lots of confusion, all of that stuff. And so I'm sure everyone had this urge to do stuff and lots of ideas. So with that same sentiment in this time frame of these last 3 months, I would say pick 1 to 2 things that you want to stick to for the rest of the year. However, do something. Don't let January creep up on you because you have all of these things happening. We have, Halloween coming up, and then we have Thanksgiving and Christmas and all of these things. Don't let the outside world be a distraction to your inner world and the things that you want to accomplish, because time waits for no one and time's going to happen anyway. So if there's things that require you to do hard stuff, just do it anyway. The time is going to pass anyway. You're not missing out on anything. Um, don't make a list, bro. Don't make a huge list. And I will say, don't make a list per se, but kind of pick some things that you can really involve yourself in. So here's the thing that I want you to realize with this square. The square is not trying to destroy you, it's trying to teach you something. So Jupiter wants to expand you, right? And Jupiter wants to help you grow. And Jupiter wants you to accomplish things and experience stuff. But Jupiter without focus is just noise. What I do know about Jupiter, and if you ever want to really get the full abundance of your Jupiter sign, especially your natal Jupiter sign, is to look at the house that it's in, look at the sign, and really study the properties of the sign and the house. So if your Jupiter is in Cancer, Jupiter is exalted in Cancer. I mean, it loves being in Cancer. So it's really it loves being in Cancer. So with Jupiter in Cancer, it is home there, it likes it, and it feels good. And so, whatever your Jupiter sign is, kind of study those characteristics and then study that house, and then think about how you can expand in that way. So, like I said, Jupiter wants to see you do all the things, but it doesn't want you to do it without focus because it's just noise. It doesn't want to just you have scattered energy. And then Mercury in Libra is trying to communicate and help you think through things and think through things in a balanced way. But when Jupiter's pulling you in a million directions, Mercury can't do its job. Okay. So the lesson of this transit really is that true growth doesn't come from doing everything. True growth comes from doing one thing really, really deeply or really, really focused. Okay. Ro on YouTube said, Jupiter is part of my middle name. Oh, that's nice. So that's what this transit wants you to do and wants you to kind of lean into. Okay. So how does this connect for me, right? That's what this 30 days has been about. I love posting. If you go back prior to, I was posting carousels every day, posting stuff every day. I couldn't do that because I didn't have, number one, I didn't have the mental capacity. I didn't have the mental capacity because the lives were, even though some of them weren't planned, some of them weren't, completely executed the way I want to, I still came and showed up, whether it was for 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 40 minutes, an hour, they still were extracting energy. However, I didn't stream about a million different things. I still kept it in my wheelhouse of stuff, and I didn't kind of change stuff around. I didn't make a big deal out of it. I was like, let me just show up and do the lives. And even though I wanted to quit by when I got tired, I was like day 3, I think. It was like day 3 and I got extremely tired and I just wanted to completely just yeah, give up. And I didn't. So yeah, I just didn't. So anywho, I don't know why my phone was ringing. Anywho, hopefully it didn't stop the live. No, we're good. We're good. So yeah, I wanted to give up like day 3, but I was like, you just committed to this for 30 days. So you can't do that. So I showed up even when it was hard. I think the hardest part was at night. The Saturdays and Sundays weren't that hard. So, but sticking with something teaches you things that sticking with something teaches you things that quitting can never teach you. So, for these next 90 days, try to stick with something and allow this particular transit to help you. We have a bunch of other transits happening. If you haven't gotten it already, if you go to my shop and you pick up the Final Five ebook, it's $9. It goes through each rising sign, and each rising sign has all of the transits included for what's happening for the Final Five. It was from August, September, October, November, December, but you can read about everything that's going to happen in October, November, and December with the transits and what you can do to help you manifest, to help you call in stuff, to help you stick to things. So that's in my shop. It's called the Final Five, and it's a ebook. So there's that. If you want to get any specifics about your rising signs, it's $9. I've heard great reviews. I wrote it, but I've heard great reviews. People love it. They're following it, all of that stuff. So back to how you can help yourself stick to things these next months. So I was just she was just reading. Somebody on YouTube was just reading their Final Five report yesterday, because it goes through each month and talking about the transits, talking about what you need to call in, the actual houses that is transiting, your charts, all of that. So, how can you stick to things for the next 3 months? Number 1, you have to learn your patterns. This is important to know yourself. I know myself. That's why I made a decision that I wasn't going to come here like with makeup on, which I love wearing makeup. I love doing my hair and putting on stuff and putting on an outfit. I like getting cute. But I knew that if I had to do that every day, y'all wouldn't see me. So I was like, you just got to take me as I am. Here I am. So, like I said, around day 3, day 7, day 10, I was like, oh my God, but what was I thinking? But I stuck with it. Also, figure out what skill you're building while you're doing something. So you can't get good at doing something once or trying it once. So you get good by showing up again and again and again and doing it over and over. So now, just referencing me, that's the reference that I have. I know that I feel comfortable now just showing up any old type of way and coming on and talking about anything on live. So that's going to make it better now, because I was kind of afraid to do that in certain instances, and not being prepared. So this really helped me. So I'm building a skill. You're going to build a skill of some sort. Another thing that is important, what sticking to you teaches you, is that you prove something to yourself. I thought I was going to quit several times during this month. But I didn't. Whether 5 people showed up or 15 or 25 people, I really wasn't thinking about that. I was going to quit. So every time you keep a promise to yourself, you're building trust with yourself. I've talked about this in a few other lives. People always ask me, oh my God, you're always, accomplishing things and stuff like that. That's because I got something to prove to myself. And I stick with things and I take risk and I have a plan and a mission and I have a why. My why is strong. Sometimes my why is not as strong, but my why is strong. So every time I keep a promise to myself, I build confidence, I build trust. That's what you do. You build confidence, you build trust in yourself. And that trust becomes the foundation of everything else that you do. And then another thing that will happen over these next 3 months, if you stick to something, is that you'll learn what you're actually capable of. You will learn what you can actually do with your body, with your mind, with what you do as a vocation, whatever you're trying to do. Most people quit before they find out really what they're made of. They quit when it gets really uncomfortable, but the growth is in the discomfort. Um, our brains are very, very magical, and they're trying to keep us safe. Our nervous systems are trying to keep us safe, but sometimes it requires us to kind of move past this safety and push yourself to do something a little bit more than what you've done, to kind of prove to yourself like, oh my gosh, I can do it. So those are some ways that you can do that. Now, the Mercury Jupiter kind of trap, Mercury square Jupiter trap. So like I said, tomorrow's transit, it's going to spark something in you, I promise. Not just because I'm saying it, because I know that October 1st feeling, because the countdown has begun. We have only like I said, 92 days left. Those 90 days, those solid 90 days, you feel panic, you feel a rush, it's going to tempt you a lot. It's going to whisper, start something new, something easier, do something like the other idea is better. Like, don't do this one that's really hard. Take the easy way out. Or you could be doing so much more. Like, all of this stuff is going to like just come in with this wave of, oh my gosh, you ruined. This is usually what happens in my brain. I don't know about y'all. Oh my God, you wasted so much time this year. You only have 90 days to make something count. That's the voice that happens that October, that first 3 days of October for me, especially if I didn't accomplish all of the goals that I had. So I have to like kind of bring it down and say, whoa, whoa, whoa. Let's focus on what we did do instead of what we didn't do. So I still did a lot of things. I'm sure you still did a lot of things. So make sure that you acknowledge what you actually accomplished this year. Whether you had 25 items that you wanted to accomplish this year and maybe you only did 5 or 10, that's still something. Look at those things as the things that you accomplished. You're going to feel the pull tomorrow to get into action. So maybe you're working on something new, a business, a skill, a creative project, a fitness goal, and it's hard, and it's really hard, and it's taking longer than you thought. It's pushing you. You feel like giving up, and it's not as exciting as it was when you first thought you were going to do it. So Mercury square Jupiter is going to try and seduce you into quitting it. Okay? Don't do that. Don't quit. Remember why you started. Remember that the growth is in the nonlinear. So remember that the people who win, they don't have the best ideas. They just stick with something and they continue to do it. I remember in acting school, and I talk about this story a lot. My favorite acting coach, she said, our first day of acting school, she's like, either you want to be a movie star or you want to be an actor. They're two different paths, but you can choose. And she said, a movie star, they want to be in movies. They have this goal. They want to be famous and all of that stuff. And she said, an actor is someone who wants to act, who can look at their career as a journey. You could go act in the public library. You can go act at the public theater. You don't have to be famous to do that. So there is two paths that you can take, either a movie star or an actor. And so every time I use that analogy, it's really to showcase that there's two journeys of anything that you're trying to do. One is going to be longer, maybe harder, and the other one's going to give you ego-based results. And that might be good for short term, but one is better for long term in building up your stamina, your creativity, your confidence, the belief in yourself, the stick-to-itiveness, the wherewithal that you have. So I say all that to say that this transit is going to cause you to want to quit or start something easier or start something new. Jupiter wants to expand you, but it can't expand anything if you keep on starting over, if you keep on dropping stuff, if you keep on leaving things behind. Mercury wants to help you learn, but you can't learn deeply if you keep switching subjects, if you keep switching things that you want to do. The magic happens when you stay. The magic happens when you stick with something. The magic happens when you push yourself beyond your normal limits and you don't give up easily. The magic happens when you follow through and you keep promises to yourself. So remember that. So then we have, after, Libra, we have some Scorpio energy coming, right? It's not horrible. Scorpio energy is not horrible at all. In a few weeks, we will have Mercury is going to move into Scorpio, and Scorpio is the opposite of scattered. Scorpio is deep. Scorpio is focused. Scorpio is very overly committed. Scorpio wants to go to the bottom of the ocean, go to the darkest of the dark, the driest of the dry. It's going to transform through intensity. So Scorpio doesn't quit, it stays. So if you're feeling that pull tomorrow, meaning that you want to do everything, just stay focused, because once Mercury moves into Scorpio, and it moves into Scorpio on, I will tell you the exact date. It will move into Scorpio so it moves there. Hold. It'll move in there in November. Wait, let's see. So we have Mercury retrograde. Yeah. What's the exact date though of Mercury in Scorpio? Let me see. I'm trying to. I think is it Mercury in Scorpio 2025. Okay, Mercury enters Scorpio on October 24th to November 23rd, and from December 6th to the 29th. So it has two phases, because one of those is retrograde. Yeah, so it'll be there from there. So all you got to do is just focus until the 24th. You just got to focus until the 24th. That's really it. You just have to focus until the 24th of October. Because once you can, once you do that, it'll work out for you. If anybody has any questions, please ask away. So here's what to do tomorrow when Mercury squares Jupiter. So number one, write down all of your ideas, not just the ideas for the rest of the year, but just write down all of your ideas. Just get them out your head. If you don't have an idea journal, get one, create one. It's important. Jupiter wants your ideas to be heard. So say them out loud, write them down, all of that. Next step, this is going to be hard for some of you. Just for the month of October, that's all. Choose one. Choose one idea. Choose one thing that you are committed to or that you're already committed to, and choose the one that actually matters. And then number three, remind yourself of your why. Why did you start this? What will, completing this do for you? Who will you become when you finish this? What will this change? What will you learn? Number four, block out all the noise. I like to schedule my goals. What do I mean by that? The things that I want to accomplish, I block out time in my calendar to focus and sit and do with it. I have a reading schedule. I have a learning schedule. I'm going through certain, like, learning different things, like therapy wise. Like I'm taking like different courses, like continuing education stuff. I have a block out for training and scheduling outside of my work schedule. So put your goals in your schedule. Write down what you want to do. It helps so much when you put your goals in your schedule. So if you want to read a book or learn something, I put an hour each day to make sure, at least for a minimum of an hour, I'm reading the current book that I'm like working on or whatever. And also too, and this is going to be hard, but this is going to be challenging, but you're going to have to block out the noise and pick your consumption. What are you consuming? That makes a huge difference. So maybe you're not consuming everything that you need to. So like if I remember my first therapist, Brian, when I was 22, Brian, he would tell me this, I mean, we had DVRs. And I learned this from him. He said, if you can DVR it, you don't need to watch it when it comes on live. Spend that. He's like, he would tell me, don't let the world consume you. You choose how you consume the world. And so that's where I learned how to DVR everything that I watch. So I can choose when I will consume the information, and I don't have to be like on it right away. So I like my reality shows. I watch my reality shows, but I DVR all of them, and then I watch them at a later time. So I don't usually watch them the same day. It depends on which ones they are, and then I consume them. So if it's something that you can consume later, then consume it later. Pick a different time for consumption so you can stick to your goals, so you can stick to what really matters. And then the last thing, of course, celebrate your consistency. Every day show up. Every day you show up for yourself is a win. Whether you hit, if you hit your water goal, whatever. Every day that you don't quit is a victory. You're building something that a few people actually do, which is discipline. And what I realized, this is one of my revelations, which I'm going to talk about just in longer form. What I realized doing this 30 days of streams, lives, whatever you want to call it, that now I understand what separates people who are getting their goals accomplished and everyone else. It's really about devotion and discipline. That's really what it is. And I've heard this so many times, and I know you've heard it before, and I've heard this many, many years in various forms. Everyone's not necessarily smarter than you or better than you. They just stuck with it longer. They just keep on putting in the work, or as I tell my clients, they're out in the field. That's one thing about me that I can say. I'm out in the field. I'm out in the field. I'm doing anything I tell my clients to do. I'm doing it myself. I'm out in the field. That's the only difference that's between where you are now and where you want to go. You have to get out in the field. And a lot of people don't want to get out in the field. Everybody's very, very comfortable. And I get it. I love comfort. I'm a Taurus moon. I love comfort. And I have a fourth house stellium. I like to be comfortable. But if you want things to change, you have to get out in the field. Getting out in the field means doing things that you've never done before, pushing yourself, and going with, of course, your natural body's rhythms, all of that other stuff, but you still have to do it. So you need to get out in the field these next freaking 60, 90 days. I need to see y'all out in the field. Now, my invitation to you. So I have an invitation to you. What's your next 30 days? Claim something today. What do you want to learn? Write it in the chat. If you're watching, what's something you've been wanting to commit to, but you keep stopping and starting? What's something you want to know, but you just change your mind? You don't stick with it. Is it a language you want to learn? Is it building a business? Is it working out? Is it creating content? Is it studying for something? Is it writing a book? Is it reading a book? What's the thing? Put it in the chat. Just something. Name something that you want to accomplish before the end of the year, or even just in this month coming up in October. Don't be shy. Put it in the chat. Claim it. Name it. Claim it. What's something that you want to do? Or something that you want to stick with? Somebody said, Earth dominant chart. The comfort is taking me out. Yeah, comfort with Earth. Listen, my moon wants to wrap myself up in a blanket and relax. Or go to a nice restaurant and be served good food. Content creation. Okay, I love that. I love that. Further cement. Somebody said further cement my yoga practice. Okay, I love that. See where I can go with it. Yes, love that. Who else? Building income streams outside of my 9 to 5. Yes, love that. Stretching every morning. That's a good one. I need to take the stretching every morning. I want to be consistent with my fitness journey. I also want to learn more about astrology. Love, love, love. Who else? Put it out there. Claim what you're going to do. Come up with some type of goal. Come up with a goal. I'm just out here flailing. No, come up with a goal. You can do something. What else? Put it in the chat. What do you want to do? Something. It's even if it's read a book. I want to read a book that you suggested, AC. Something. Put something out there. Put it in the chat. So I want you to do that. I want to be consistent with engaging on social media. I love that. Somebody said that on YouTube. Voiceover narration. Yes, TT on YouTube. Okay, I love that. Yes, yes, yes. So that means you got to get to practicing. Start just reading books out loud and recording yourself. That's what I used to do. I had a voiceover coach years ago. I hope she's doing well. And FYI, so my voiceover coach, she was the voice of she did all of the maybe I shouldn't say this, but she did all of the Serena Williams voices for the Nike commercials. So yeah, she was Serena Williams voice for Nike commercials. My old voiceover coach. Yeah, that's funny. So anytime you hear there's a few of them that I remember, a few like Nike tennis commercials with Serena Williams. That's actually my voiceover coach's voice. My old voiceover coach. Someone said, I want to read all the books you should check. That's a good goal. Read them. Create multiple streams of income, but the main goal is to complete 3 out of 4 book reports for my birth workers. Oh, that's nice. Someone says starting and committing to my side hustle, homemade jewelry, accessories, intentional candles sold almost. Okay, I love that. I love it. I love it. Love this. Yay. Lots of goals. Lots of goals. I'm reading Letting the Divinely. Oh, by Tosha. Oh, yes. That's a good book. And It's Not Your Money next. But yes, that's a good start. People want to focus on manifestation. Love it. Love it. Okay, there's some big things. Better at grant writing. So Tanya on YouTube said to get more funding for my nonprofit. I love that. I have a recommendation for you, Tea with Tanya, about that. I just took a course. I just took a course about learning, but she recommended a book that is really, really good that would help anybody. I'm gonna put it. It's a very good book. Like, whew, it's a very good book, but it will help with any type of writing that you're trying to do. So the book is called How to Write Clearly Write with purpose, reach your reader, and make your meaning crystal clear. I'm going to put it in both chats. But that is the book that was recommended. And it's really, really surprisingly very good. But it's called How to Write Clearly. If you want to learn how to write better, very, very good book. And it goes over like how to understand your reader so they can tune into what they need. It also helps you communicate better with people. I just only cracked open a little bit. It's on my list to read, but I got it from a recommendation from someone, and it's really good. It's called How to Write Clearly. That's a good one. So anyone else want to declare what they're going to focus on for the rest of this year, or just one thing? Doesn't matter. Anywho, so just know for these next 30 days, or even for the rest of the year, and what these 30 days of me showing up live really taught me is that one thing it damn sure taught me is that I know a lot of fucking information. I don't need any more ideas. I need to commit to everything that I know and put that out there. I know a lot of things, okay? You don't need more opportunities. You just need more focus. You don't need more motivation. You need motivation. Let me tell you something about that word. Please don't, please don't stop looking for motivation. I learned this from a trainer of my that I used to have a few years ago, and he was like, "Stop doing anything for motivation. That shit is gonna come and go quicker than quicker than anything. Motivation is like a lie. Don't do anything like, oh, I'm motivated to do." He was like, it's just gonna fail. Do it because you are disciplined, that you wanted to be devoted to whatever you're doing. So don't look for motivation. You don't need more motivation. You need more discipline. You need more commitment. You need more structure. That's what you need. So it's really about finishing what you started and continuing with it. You need to commit. ACU, listen, don't eat. My books are out of hand, but I'm reading all of them. Yeah. AC, you can giving me books. I know I keep on giving people books to buy. I know. Listen, just put them in your Amazon cart or wherever you buy books from. I'm sorry, I apologize. I blame my obsession with books on my father. For like, my dad reads, I mean, he's retired, but he works, but in a different capacity. My dad reads but he reads a lot of fiction. He reads a little bit of nonfiction, but he goes through, in a span of 2 weeks, like 4 books. And when I tell you that man hates a used book, I'll just tell you this quick story because I think it's hilarious. So my dad sends me money to order him books if he can't go to like Barnes and Nobles, if he's traveling, if he's on the road and stuff like that. And so he calls me late at night, and he's into series. He likes writers that have series. And so I have to get him books that are in series and all of that stuff. So he calls me, lets me know when he's finished reading the book, and then I have to order him more books. Then he sends me money. It's this whole thing. It's like every week. My dad reads books a lot, so that's where I get my obsession from. And like I said, I used to have to write book reports when I was 4 years old, 5 years old. These little books, but he goes through. He'll call me, like, yeah, that book was good. I love that author. I stayed up all night. Like, he's still staying up all night, like reading books. He's like, I stayed up all night. I didn't go to bed till 3:00 in the morning, because the book was so good and I just couldn't put it. So he loves all of those books. So he loves reading. So I'll tell you, not to give you more to read. Sorry, but one of his, is it over here? I think No. No, who is it that he loves? Hold on. Well, he loves S.A. Cosby, loves all those books. Um, he also loves. So he read all of S.A. Cosby's books, and he complained. He said, "Why?" He said, "Why don't that boy have more books?" I said, "I don't know. I can't. I can't. I don't know." He read all of his books, and they have to be in hardcover. They can't be in paperback because the paperback books, the writing's too small, and he don't like that. Um, so they have to be in hardcover. But he likes S.A. Cosby, which S.A. Cosby, if you haven't read an S.A. Cosby book, you are missing out. S.A. Cosby is such a great writer. He writes very, very great books. So he likes S.A. Cosby. What's Homegirl who he likes? What's her name? Her books are really good. Oh gosh, I can't remember. Wait, I'll tell you. It's in my Amazon in my orders because they're all there. S.A. Cosby is such a good writer. So he likes her books are very good too. Wanda Morris. Wanda M. Morris. She has how many books does Wanda M. Morris have? She has 3 books. All of his rave reviews. Wanda M. Morris. She has What You Leave Behind is a really good book. Anywhere You Run, and All Her Little Secrets. My dad's favorite is What You Leave Behind. He likes those books. Wanda Morris is good too. Yeah, I like Kennedy Ryan. My dad ain't reading no Kennedy Ryan. He wants a mystery. He wants people. Yeah, no. He wants mystery. He wants suspense. He's not gonna read Kennedy Ryan. He wants a mystery, but I like Kennedy Ryan. Okay, thank you for sharing to cart now. Oh man, I used to tell my children, readers are leaders. Readers are leaders. Or as my parents used to say, we not raising no dummies. That's what my dad used to say. I'm not raising no dummy. Same thing, different iteration. Readers are leaders, or I'm not raising no dummy. One or the other. That's how I heard it. So you said we should find Jupiter in our chart and study the sign for the upcoming. No, study Jupiter in your chart in general. So study Jupiter and study the house that it's in. So if your Jupiter is in Gemini in your first house or your Gemini rising, so Jupiter in Gemini wants you to be knowledgeable, wants you to learn how to communicate for yourself because it's in your first house, your identity. Your identity is about communication. So Jupiter wants you to create the space and the opportunity for it to bring you blessings and abundance. Because yours is in Gemini, it's going to want you to do that for yourself. So self-advocacy, advocating for yourself, advocating for what you want, need, and desire, those type of things. So yeah, any other questions? Any other questions? This is my last live for a while. I will come back on live. I'll be coming back just Thursdays, either on the 16th or the 23rd. I'm going to start my Thursday night live. That's what I'm calling it. Thursday night live, either on the 16th, October 16th, or October 23rd. I'm not sure yet, but one of those days, either the 16th or the 23rd, and I'm going to do a Thursday night live show. Someone said on YouTube, will you explain what you mean by you say study the sign? So yes, when I say study the sign of Jupiter or any planet, studying the sign means studying the natural characteristics of that sign. So I'll give a for instance, even if you look up, I'm just going to Google, what are the characteristics of Pisces, right? So imaginative, empathy, intuition, escapism, all of these things. Study what that means. A good, sorry, look at me, a good book for that. A good book for that would be, I apologize. I apologize. A good book for that would be Stephen Forrest's The Inner Sky. Like I said, I love how he talks about the signs in the books. I mean, he talks about the signs and the characteristics. So, studying the sign. So, studying that sign and then studying the house. So, for, like I said, Pisces, studying those characteristics, the negative traits, the positive traits, what that means, how it comes across, what energy it brings. I like I said, the inner sky, I really like is because Stephen has a very good way of talking about the signs, and he does it in a way where it feels very approachable, which I love making things make sense, and that you understand some of the nuances of that sign. Okay. And so, yeah, Stephen Forrest, The Inner Sky. So you understand the nuances of that sign, you understand some of the characteristics, and then go study the house that that sign is in for whatever planet is in. So do that. And then when you understand that, you understand, so the sign is, the characteristics of it, the house is the way that it's going to show up, kind of thing, and the planet is kind of more personality characteristics of it. But listen, I could recommend books for a lot of things. I'm working on that because I need to lean into that more. Because like I said, I read, and right now I'm going back into reading to learn and to study and to grasp different concepts that I want to master for myself. So yes, that's a good book. So that's what I mean. I say study the sign, especially study the sign where you have multiple planets in. So if you have what is called a stellium, if more than 3 planets in that sign, you want to read that and understand the characteristics, because 9 times out of 10, those characteristics show up more. So for instance, I know someone who may have a sun in Leo, but they have maybe 6 planets in Virgo. They're going to show up having more Virgo personality and Virgo characteristics. So that's something that you should study. So that's what I mean by study the sign. Studying the sign, studying the house that it's in, so you understand that. Okay? Any other questions? Any other questions? I'm so glad you guys, thank you for, I just want to honestly say thank you for those of you who showed up every day, and asked questions and engaged, and really, it was nice to see the same faces and the same little circles and stuff. It really made me feel really just excited to come back and every day and show up and teach and learn and answer questions and key. I know when the Thursday night show comes on, it's not just going to be teaching. We're going to have a little fun too and talk about different topics and stuff, which I learned that, people want to hear my point of view and opinions about other things than astrology and numerology and stuff. So that was really helpful. And like I said, I wanted to do that for that. So I completely from the bottom of my heart, I appreciate everyone who showed up, even popped in or who tried to catch it and couldn't, or everybody who watched the replays and left comments on YouTube. All of the replays are on YouTube, by the way. For those who just watched on Instagram, all of the replays are on YouTube. So you can watch every single replay on YouTube, except for the ones where if it messed up and it stopped, I didn't save those, but mostly everything is saved. All 30 days are on there. So some days might have 2 because I had to jump off and come back on because there were technical difficulties. I don't know. But all the replays are on YouTube. You can just go to my YouTube channel and it's just AC Brown #1. And then you click the live button and you'll see all of the lives and you can watch them leave comments, all of that. But I'm just really thankful that I was able to do this, that I get to do this work, that I was able to show up every day, even though on some days I was exhausted. But I'm just really, really thankful. I really am. We are moving into a space right now where it's just really important for everyone to pay attention to what you're ingesting and what you are learning, everything, and to really focus on improving yourself for whatever reason you want to improve it. Time is still going to time, it's still going to exist, and you get the opportunity to change the way time reacts to you. So, yeah. So, yeah, that's all I got. Yes, I can't wait for my book tour. Whoop. But I'll be posting back to posting content in October. So more content, more lives, more videos, all of that. So I want to thank you all so much. Please pre-order my book. You'll be hearing a lot about my book. A lot. It's gonna get, like I said, it's gonna get cringe, but that's okay. It's gonna get cringe. So you all have a good evening and enjoy your evening, and I'll see you on the interwebs or in a workshop that I host, or if you book a session, all of that, you know how to find me. All right, bye.